Okay, guys, I'm here with my friend Doruk, who is a content creator and a watch enthusiast. Teşekkür ederim for coming. He's here for a very special occasion. Of course, we got some Turkish scenery going on here. Turkish pride with the raki, with the baklava, combined with some Dutch pride, the Heineken, and of course, most importantly, tonight we're gonna kill your team.
I should have brought my Galatasaray scarf as well.
Well, we got some nice gifts from you from Galatasaray too, so thank you for that.
Yeah, you caught me off guard, but that's fine. Thank you for inviting me, by the way.
With great pleasure.
Such a pleasure.
The hospitality is now on me because last time you provided us with some great experience in Istanbul, so thank you for that. And as I said before, that's one of the reasons why I love being in this watch community, because we barely know each other. And
you somehow connect and
right, because we love
as
watches.
If you were friends for like ages.
We spent 48 hours together, like we're best friends, and I actually don't really like you, so that was very fun.
Yeah, both ways. So
it
goes both ways.
Just kidding. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks.
Let's start with the watch on your wrist. I think it's a 3130, no?
Exactly. I have a Breguet Classic 3130, closed case back, but I mean perfect guilloche dial. You see different guilloche patterns, and you have a moon phase and date that you never set. I don't.
You shouldn't.
As a watch enthusiast, and you have the power reserve, but I think it's such an underrated watch, really. I mean, if you call it like neo-vintage Breguet, I think there's still room to grow for them. And I actually love the proportions, dude. Like, it's 36 millimeters. It's very well proportioned on a strap from our common friends, actually, from Belgium, Moleken.
Ah, nice.
It looks really nice.
But I totally agree with you there, and by extension, we made a video about most underrated watches. Yeah. I will do one with the most overrated one soon. If you like it, and if you like it, please already comment which brands I should take a look at. But Breguet is definitely in that list. I was talking about the earlier period, so like 80s and 90s. But indeed, the neo-vintage one, I have a nice rattrapant from the same era. Yeah, and you get a lot of bang for your buck. You know, the coin edge case, the guilloche dial, that's made out of solid precious metal, 18 karat yellow gold. It's a crazy watch, and it's something
for like low teens, it's unbeatable, right?
It's great. It's great.
I get it. What do you have on your wrist?
It's a little bit more flashy. So both watches are kind of opulent, but this is more like sophisticated opulent, and this is in-your-face opulent. 18389. It's a white gold one. Diamond set lugs, diamond set bezel, full pavé dial, sapphire index, which goes well with, you know, I like to match colors, so blue stones with the blue sweater. It's nice.
I think that's a KOV opulent.
I think so. I think so. And still, if you compare it to modern Rolex with gem setting, I feel like these watches are more sophisticated.
I agree. I totally agree. And I think like vintage 36 day dates, I think they are unbeatable still in like comparing to modern Rolex, modern day dates. I think it's still you're getting a bang for your bucket. Obviously, it's a lot of money, but we were discussing it earlier with you.
Yeah, I showed you the case. We're going to the Paris show, the Time On show. And I showed him the case we're bringing with a 36 millimeter day dates with a lot of different varieties.
It's crazy.
It was kind of nice, huh?
I think by the time the video is published, it will be up out in the world, so people will be able to see it.
But then they will see it.
Yeah, it's.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Jasper Leijvering from Amsterdam Vintage Watches.
Amazing. Love this watch.
So what is going well in the market in Turkey? How is the market compared to the global market regarding vintage or specific brands?
Actually, it's not so different than the rest of the world, but I would say vintage, we were discussing this earlier with some close friends as well, watch enthusiasts. We are lacking a bit of credibility in the vintage watch market in Turkey. You have some Turkish clients as well, I know, because the fact that there are no credible vintage watch dealers in the market pushes Turkish clientele to the well-respected dealers like you guys to the other parts of the world. But besides from that, I think independents are growing, vintage market is growing, people are getting more and more knowledgeable. More people are joining to the watch events all around the world.
And I think that's also due to you, because you have quite an impact. He's definitely follow him if you don't already. He has a nice YouTube channel, also bringing the watches to the younger audience and the Turkish audience. How did you start? And why?
Well, the thing is, my father was a watch dealer in the Turkish market for like 25 years, but he was a distributor. He was distributing Gerard Perregaux, Roger Dubuis, Porsche design, more, you know, like bigger and commercial stuff. And then like since 4 years, I said like I was back to Istanbul, I studied in Belgium. And thanks to you guys, actually, I built a liking around like vintage watches because at the time, you guys were like recently starting 2015, 16, right?
Yeah.
And funny enough, I'll tell about it. You remember the Tuesday lives you were doing?
Of course.
Okay, so Tuesday lives, it was 2 p.m. each week. And at like 2 or 2:30 p.m., I had a corporate finance class.
Okay.
But I had to I had to watch you guys. And you know what happened? I failed the class, dude. Because of you guys, really.
I'm
really.
sorry. But
I
at
mean,
least you gained a lot of enjoyment out of the horology world.
exactly, and then I said, I mean, I'll try to improve the family business. I'll try to somehow take another step on my own. And we started creating content with a younger team like you guys. And we are
Because
also...
you are, how old?
29.
Damn.
So, and we are almost close, no?
Yeah, I'm 31.
Okay,
31.
31.
I'm turning 32
We are
tomorrow.
also authorized dealers for some independent brands, which
Yeah.
is also another part that has a room to grow in the Turkish market. So we want to bring some stuff that people are maybe not as well educated as compared to the modern commercial brands, because I think at some point they're becoming a bit boring. So oddly enough, you wouldn't compare vintage watches with independents, but I feel like there's a commonality in sense of passion.
For sure.
For vintage, when you look at this, you feel something, right?
True.
Independence, you have the same thing as well, but otherwise...
I think that's very well put, because we have quite some clientele that's interested in both the vintage part of the horology world as well as the independent, because they both have as a common denominator that it kind of sets you apart from the rest.
Exactly.
You have to have a little bit more in-depth knowledge, and you have to gain experience to truly appreciate it.
You geek out, you...
Exactly. And one of the brands that actually you taught me to appreciate more is a brand you do yourself, which is Louis Erard, right?
Yeah.
It's very cool. I knew it.
Really cool guys, no?
Well, I knew it from the Alain Silberstein stuff.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty well known. I don't have a lot of experience there, but of course the watch
really
is
cool designer
very,
and really
and
have
it's
a specific identity.
exactly. It's very significant. You can see it from across the room.
Yeah.
But I recently saw on your Instagram the one with Vianney halter.
It's super cool, dude.
It's a spectacular watch. Can
And
you
the
tell us
thing
about
is,
that
like,
one?
for example, Louis Erard, what they're doing, I think it's really, I really appreciate it, because they tell themselves that they are trying to democratize the independence world, because what that means. A Vianney halter, even if you're a really good collector, the odds are getting it at retail from himself, it's almost impossible.
Yeah.
Right? But the thing, even if you do so, you get one maybe from an auction at Philips, but you have to pay hundreds of thousands.
But how many watches do they make a year? Like
Vianney halter or
Yeah.
Louis Erard? Vianney halter, I think he is doing like 15, 20 pieces max per year.
Yeah,
Maybe even not that, because like he's a really chill guy. Sometimes he doesn't want to bother.
Yeah.
Just like Philippe Dufour, you know.
Well, that's watchmakers, right? They're a little bit autistic sometimes,
yeah.
for sure.
So like the thing is, for example, Louis Erard says like, we have the same watch, basically, not the same watch, obviously, but the same identity, designed by Vianney himself, but we are trying to offer to the people at an affordable price point, which is still limited, but not as limited
So
to 10
what's
pieces.
the price point we're talking about?
5,000 francs plus maybe some tax.
Really?
Yeah, 5,300 or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the watch, so basically if you compare the watch, you're not even getting a Datejust for it. Right?
That's the thing,
Yeah.
exactly. My point. Or with Konstantin Chaikin as well.
Yeah.
What they're doing with time meters, that's really cool.
But that's
So-
also what really motivates me to let people see what they can buy instead of just the ordinary stuff. And the same goes for
Exactly.
vintage, you know. Okay, if you walk across the most expensive streets, you see these boutiques of Rolex and Cartier and whatever. But if you look a little bit further, you see an entire world opening up with a lot of different watches that you can value through way different parameters. And that's what I
Agreed.
see also in a brand like Louis Erard. And I have another question, because I saw this, I believe it's a German brand, Kudoke.
Kudoke as well.
Yeah. How about that? Because
They are
I
doing
really
crazy
don't know
stuff as
anything.
well. They are doing crazy stuff as well. For example, so Stefan Kudoke, he is a watchmaker himself. He used to work in Glashütte, if I'm not wrong. So he founded his own brand based in Germany, and they're producing still less than 250 pieces per year.
Okay, so
they
it's
have
very
an in-house movement, and the price is, including tax, 12,500 euros or something like that.
Because I
And they
believe
won
Louis
like
Erard,
2 GPHs in 2019, 2014. So basically they have like 4 models now, and out of 4 they won 2 GPHs at Petit Agui, which is like basically below 10,000 francs before tax. So they are offering tremendous value. They offer craftsmanship, they offer an in-house movement, and actually what I like, for example, you come here.
sorry for interrupting you. Is this a sales pitch?
No. I mean, if you want
Because
to buy
it's
one
fine.
from you,
If it's fine, but then I'm gonna put an affiliate link and I'm getting a slice too.
If you want to buy
I'm getting a little bit
one from
baklava
me,
for it too.
Go ahead. If you want to buy from me, I wouldn't say no. But actually, I think it's quite good for your taste as well. 39mm cases. But what I like about independence for Kudoke as well. You come here. Why do people come here? Because they like you. They like the team, right? Independence. I think that's. It's supposed to be like that. I mean, not that you are the most likable guy of the team, but still, I mean, so like.
But also, you're right. With independence is also way more personal because you're buying
That's
like
what
a
I'm trying to
watchmaker
say.
instead of you're buying a conglomerate or
You're building a
buying an entire
relationship,
brand.
but otherwise you have a guy in suit and tie acting like he owns the brand while he's just an other executive out of like thousands,
I feel you.
and they're acting a bit snobbish, the attitude.
Are you talking about Rutger now or?
Maybe. I'm not giving out names now, but no, you guys are really cool. But I mean, that's what I like about indies. So I think you guys did this with Vintage World. We are trying to do this with independence in the Turkish market, trying to somehow build a younger audience for that. Because, I mean, price-wise, I think there's still some great value out there.
But the Turkish market, though, is quite big. Because
it is huge.
There's a real watch culture there. Because we do have indeed a lot of following from Turkey. We have a lot of clientele from Turkey. But I feel like maybe they're still shifted towards a little bit more of the, I wouldn't
hype
say...
stuff, maybe?
Yeah, well, there you go.
I know.
I was going to say a little bit of the superficial stuff.
I get it.
But therefore it feels...
Which means that there are some people that you can convince.
Yeah, you get a lot of fulfillment to shift it towards the more educated and more, the stuff we appreciate.
Because Turkish people, we are a bit, resisting to changes. But once you do that, there's a satisfaction behind it. So I think there's a room to grow. Let's see. But I feel like more and more young people attending the watch fairs, watch events, they're following you guys and creating content. I think that's really important. In a 5 to 10 years time, I think we'll be in a much better space.
Well put. Lastly, before we kill this bottle of raki, do you have any questions for me, sir?
Before we beat you guys tonight?
That will not happen.
Okay, let's
cut
see.
this part out. Unless they actually win, then you
have to keep
part.
it. You have to keep it. You told me that you have some really cool stuff to show during the video. You want to show that?
I forgot. Can we get the set that we bought this morning? We're back. Thank you so much, Rutger. This is a set that I don't want you to miss when you're here.
No, thank you.
We bought it this morning, and it's very important, not only because of its significant model, like historical importance, but also because it was a family heirloom watch bought by the father and the son simultaneously in the same year. And for me, this is just so cool. Look, a 3800 in steel with a blue dial that turned greenish, and a 3700 with a blue dial that turned greenish. A set bought by father and son in Portugal. It has import stamps, so Portuguese have import stamps even on steel. The first time I noticed was on a GMT when it was on the top left lug. I bought a 1675 and I thought it was damaged. And then I looked with the loop because it was very oddly damaged. Import stamp. Hallmark. Look, that one has it there.
Here?
Yeah, there you go. And this one has it here.
This is
super cool.
This is super cool.
And
it looks like it is like damaged, It's like a dent.
Right?
You have to take a look at it under a loop.
I know.
Otherwise, you wouldn't notice.
And
This is super cool.
I'll tell you the honest truth, because Dario was taking pictures of the watch and he's smiling because he's very proud. I didn't notice. I knew they were from Portugal because, of course, I checked everything in the papers and blah, blah, and it's from the same year. It's pretty cool. But secondly, I never looked at the size of the case. And Dario said, should I also take a close-up of the hallmark? And I told him, shut the fuck up, bro. It's a steel watch. It doesn't have any hallmarks. He's like, huh? This is a hallmark, right? And I'm like, wait, that's an import stamp. It's Portuguese?
Cool.
Yes, it's Portuguese. So that was very nice. So thank you, Dario, for pointing it out.
Really nice story, by the way.
Very cool, right?
Super cool.
So this is a very cool set. We will bring it to Paris. The people there will have first dibs, and then we have to sell it as a set also, right?
Yeah, but I think I'm out of the first few people to see it in the flesh. No?
You're the first,
okay.
because you're not even. To be honest, you're not even the first Turkish guy who saw it, because this morning we had 2 Turkish CEOs over also
then
for
I'm
the
leaving.
game.
I think it's the
and they also wanted to have a
time to
look.
close the video. Yeah.
Anyways, for me this is a super cool set.
This is super cool. Man.
We haven't sold many watches as a set. We sold the 6269 and 6270 as a set, so the gem set Daytonas. We sold the beach Daytonas as an entire set of all the dials. Are there any more watches we sold as a set, Rutger? I don't think so. That might be it.
So this might be important for you guys as well.
This is like the third.
Maybe another
set.
father and son duo will buy it. Hopefully.
Really, that is my biggest dream.
I think that's the idea.
How cool would that be?
Yeah.
So if you're watching this with your father, or if you're watching this with your son, treat yourself. Get a meet and greet with the only Turkish watch guy you will enjoy. Thank you so
pleasure.
much.
Thank you,
Teşekkür ederim again.
Hope to see you soon in Istanbul
With
again.
great pleasure. But first, let's survive tonight.
Yeah, let's see.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you. Thanks. Bye.
Şerefe guys.
Teşekkür ederim.
Yeah.
Teşekkür. I hope the last